What's up YouTube? Welcome to Automotive Life. My name is Lucky and this video is how to buy a car when you have bad credit. Now the reason I'm making this video is I've seen so many really bad videos out there. I wanted to go ahead and kind of give you a dealer's perspective as far as how to do this, because there's a lot of these so-called credit experts that are telling you guys what to do and how to do it, and they're all full of shit. So before I get into that, please click the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Click the notification bell. We post great content like this all the time, as well as if you could smash the like button. I truly appreciate it. The almighty YouTube algorithm reward us with more great viewers like yourself. Without any more shameless plugging, let's get into the video. If you're new to the channel, I've been a car dealer for the last 10 years. I specialize in subprime auto loans, pretty much what means I work with people with bad credit. I do subprime and I do buy here, pay here. So I'm gonna give you the dealer's perspective on how hard it is to get done when you have bad credit, some of the things you need to do, and like I said, the tricks I'm gonna show you here at the little bit of the end. But first thing I'm gonna tell you guys, all these so-called credit gurus that are like preaching, oh, you can buy a car with no money down if you have bad credit. And I'm here to tell you they're all full of shit. And I'm gonna explain the reasons why and show you guys a little bit behind the curtains of, as us dealers, how we sell deals to banks. So first thing is, yes, as a dealership, I actually have to sell your deal to the bank. What I mean by the deal is you as a person. So if you come in as a customer to my dealership and you're like, well, I have bad credit, I have short job time, I got $1,000 down, can you help me? And let's say you're trying to buy a $10,000 car, which I recommend. If you have bad credit, you need to start somewhere. Don't go out and buy something expensive, standard 10K. So let's say you buy a $10,000 car and you only have $1,000 down. Most dealerships can't lower their prices till they see your credit, because I'm going to show you why. Banks actually charge us dealers money to buy your deal. So let's say this $10,000 car, you know, you're looking at, and they look at your credit report and they're like, okay, well, Mr. Smith has bad credit, so there's $1,000 off, and Mr. Smith has short job time. He's only been on the job for 90 days. So they want to charge us $2,000 on a $10,000 car. What that means is you as the customer, you still have a $10,000 loan, but us as the dealership, we're only gonna get a check from the bank for $8,000. So the way that we recoup this is we gotta get more down payment to show less risk. Let's say we need $9,000 to sell the deal, but you only have $1,000 down. We'll go to the customer and be like, hey, Mr. Customer, I can't approve you unless you put another $1,000 down. You know, I know you only have $1,000, but I need $9,000 or $2,000 to get my check for $9,000. They're not going to understand that. The dealerships are not going to tell you that, but they're always going to tell you for the bank to buy the deal, you need to give an additional down payment. So this is where the dealership comes in. It is my job to tell the bank how amazing this person is with bad credit. So when we look and we're looking at people with bad credit, you could have bad credit, but every bad credit tells a different story. Now, if you have bad credit, like you lost your job, you lost your car, you had a repo, but since then you've established new credit, and I'm going to tell you guys right now, get anything you can as far as new credit. What I mean by that is get $200 to $300, go get a secured credit card and show that you're trying to reestablish your credit. That is the biggest thing that these banks look for. If you had a repo, believe it or not, we have a lot of banks that actually will take you if you had a repo yesterday, but they're going to require a massive down payment. A lot of these second chance financiers want to see that you're moving in the right direction. So if you have, perfect example, if you have, let's say, a secured credit card from your credit union of $200, it's nothing much, you know, and you've paid off a few of your bills. Now, I'm the first to tell you, never pay off your collections. Whether you pay it off or not, it doesn't matter. I don't care who tells you that. It's better off just to pay somebody to challenge them and get them off your credit report, because you're going to pay all that stuff and you're not going to get any difference on your credit report. It's still going to show that you had a collection. It'll just show that it's paid. Your score won't go up, your score won't go down. It'll just stay the same. So you need new accounts to move you in that positive direction. So once you get a few of these new accounts, I can show the bank, hey, look, this customer, he fell on hard times, but they're struggling, but they're getting back on the right way. They got new credit cards, stuff like this. They start to see this. Another thing that a lot of banks frown upon is late water bills, power bills, stuff that you need as a necessity to live. They see that as, if you're not willing to pay your power bill and live with no lights, they don't see you making your car payment. And that's another thing that's really, really hard when I tell people, if you're gonna pay anything, pay your old power company, pay your old cell phone bills, they actually care about those things because they know that they're critical as far as living. Another thing is, let's say you get a repo and you come into my dealership and you're like, look, I lost my job, I fell on hard times, I need to get another car. And let's say your last car payment is $300. So what that tells me is that you can't afford $300, so we need to keep you under $300. But everybody always comes in and they want a nicer car than the one they just had repoed. It doesn't work that way. The bank is gonna look and they're gonna be like, well, geez, this customer defaulted on a $300 loan. Let's get him to like $275, or if you have a $500 loan, let's get you down to $400. Whatever your last loan payment is, they want you to be in it either under lower, or they're gonna add more risk to it, which means more down payment for you. So those are some of the things that matter. And also, if you make cash under the table, that's okay. You be honest with the dealer. You tell them, because we have a lot of banks that take job letters, that take cash under the table. If you're making cash under the table, I don't care if you're a substitute pimp, you sell candles on whatever that other site is, Etsy or whatever it is, and you do construction, you clean houses on the side. Always take your cash and put it in the bank. I don't care if you pull it out 5 minutes later, you put that in the bank, so this way it shows deposits, it shows that you're making money. Because people know that, especially here in Vegas, there's a lot of people that make $8 an hour, but they make tips. So on paper, they make $30, $40 an hour. But they don't see that unless you put it in the bank. So before you start buying, you need to start thinking of these things, because if you have bad credit and you're trying to wiggle around it, you need to show pretty much the best picture you can to get yourself out there and actually make the banks want to buy you. Now we're going to get into the do nots. After this, we're going to get into the tips. But the first do not is do not lie to the dealer. This is very important. I'm going to give you a few examples and then I'm going to give you a few reasons why. So let's say you come into my dealership, and you got to remember, it's my job to sell you a car. I do not make any money if I can't sell you a car. So it is in my best interest to make sure you leave with the vehicle. Always remember that. Everyone always thinks that dealers against them. We're actually with you. We want you to leave with the car. So you come in and you lie to me. You're like, you know what? I make $2,000 a month, but I'm going to lie to this dealer and say I make $2,500 a month. It's only $500. It's not that much, whatever. So me as a dealer, you tell me you make $2,500, I'm looking on my list of banks. Every bank has different minimums, mandatories, and things they do. So let's say I have a subprime bank, which is a bad credit bank, but their minimum income is $2,500. So when you tell me that and you submit your paperwork, I'm like, fantastic. I got a bank that'll buy this customer, the customer can leave with the car, and all's right in the world. Well, what happens is when you lie, I submit your paperwork to the bank looks at your pay stubs and they're like, this guy makes $2,000 a month, he doesn't make $2,500, denied. So now, that's when you get the call from the dealer. Hey, Mr. Customer, you either need to put more money down, or sorry, we can't do the deal at all. You need to bring the car back, and the customers get mad at you. A lot of that stuff is because you lied to the dealer. Don't lie to them. Don't bring fake pay stubs, please. We have so many payment calculators, we could figure that shit out like in 5 minutes. So don't even waste your time. We've seen all the templates. We know all the websites. We know all the companies, because it's the same people that make these fake pay stubs on Craigslist, OfferUp, Facebook, and all these other places. Don't do it. Do not lie to the dealer. The next do not is be honest with yourself and the dealer when it comes to the money you're working with. If the dealer says you need $2,000 down to roll this car and you only have $1,000 in your pocket and you're like, yeah, I can get it in 2 weeks, don't do that if you cannot do it. Because you got to remember, in 30 days, you have your first car payment, you have the registration, and you have the first payment for your insurance. All three of those are going to hurt you tremendously if you do not come up with them all at once. And I've had a lot of people, especially even my dealership, when you lie about what's called a PIK payment or a down payment, I can repo your car and I don't have to give you back your money. I don't care what attorneys you hire, what you think you know, we can literally keep your money. We had a customer come in, put $8,000 down on a Silverado. He said he was going to get $2,000 in 30 days for the rest of his down payment. So we rolled the car. Guess what happened? No calls, no nothing. He figured since he put this big chunk of money down, we wouldn't come after the car. Well, we repoed the car, and it's our choice whether to give it to him back or not. So we called him up and we're like, you didn't even reach out to us. You didn't say, hey, give me another week or two, because we don't want to take the car back. We want it to go away. But now this guy lost $8,000 because he didn't do the right thing. He overextended himself, and now he lost all that money. He tried suing us, which was funny, but at the end of the day, the contract is the contract. If you write on something on the dotted line, yes, I agree to pay this for X amount of dollars, you're liable. Don't blame the dealer. It's not somebody else's fault. It's your fault. So make sure that you don't overextend yourself with down payments, PIK payments, or some other weird type of high monthly payment. That's the other thing. Next thing about don'ts is do not extend yourself as far as what you can afford monthly. I see a lot of people where they're just like, you know what, I want the lowest payment possible, which is great. So you extend the term, but a lot of times when you extend the terms really long, your interest goes way up. So even though, let's say you have a 36-month payment of $400, but now you have a, I don't know, let's just say 48-month payment at $350. So you're like, okay, instead of $400, I'm gonna be $50 cheaper, but I'm gonna extend it out another, you know, whatever, X amount of months. The interest is gonna double. Actually what you're gonna pay is double. Always plan on refinancing the car within 6 months. This is your goal. You do not need to keep doing this to overextend yourself. Okay guys, this is the big part, the tips. Now, first tip I'm gonna tell you is do not use a CPN. A lot of these credit gurus say go get a CPN. A CPN is basically a credit reporting number, which is a fake social. Do not do that. I'm gonna make a separate video about it. All of us dealers know how to run them now. All the banks know about them. They don't work. Don't even bother using them because you'll get flagged. And here's another thing. Once you get flagged in the system for using fraudulent information, whether it's a fake paycheck stub or a CPN, you get black flagged with all of us dealers because we all use the same banks. So if you go to dealer to dealer to dealer and you're like, well, why am I not getting approved? Now you know why, because we flagged your ass. We know that you're basically shady as hell. You're lying about all your paperwork. Do not do it. So next tip is authorized users. Now, most people don't know what an authorized user is. If let's say you have a 500 credit score, 550 credit score, and you want to buy a car, what I usually tell people is the month before you buy it, go to your friends, go to your family and say, hey, look, can you add me onto your credit cards as an authorized user? I don't need a credit card. I just need you to add me and take me off after 30 days. What this does is you'll get whatever credit history they have. So let's say your dad has a Bank of America card with a $10,000 limit for 15 years. You automatically overnight get credit for all those 15 years on your credit report. So what I tell people is go out, talk to your friends, your family, your girlfriend, whoever else, have as many people add you on as authorized users, because overnight you will get a massive, massive jump, and it'll stay there for about a month or two before the credit bureaus kind of balance it out and bring it back to normal. Now, with authorized users, it's a good thing and a bad thing. If they have zero debt on the card and they've made all their payments, you get the history for it. But if they maxed out their card and they have a lot of late payments, you also get the negative points of that as well. So don't get too much that will counteract each other. Talk to your friends. Do you owe zero money on it? Yes. Do you have any late payments on it? No. Okay, cool. Add those on your credit and you will see a massive boost. Once you get that, I've seen people jump up to 730, 750 scores. Now it's a fake score technically, but now you qualify for credit union financing at 2.9% for 64, 84, up to 84 months, and you can get whatever you want. But authorized user is one of the things you can add them on there. Next thing you need to do is, like I said, worry about building your new credit. Instead of you saving up $5,000 to go get a $20,000 car, take $1,000 of that, go to a bunch of different credit unions, give them $200 and get a secured credit card. You do that along with getting these secured credit cards, your score is gonna dramatically jump very quickly. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, it's gonna take me months and years to build it up. It won't. This will take you about 30 to 60 days. We do it all the time. When we have customers come in and they don't have a whole lot of bad credit, they just have one or two things and it drops your score really bad, you know, all they need is new positive credit to give you that boost. But that's the hardest thing to get. So we tell people, go get the authorized users, go get these secured credit cards, and boom, you're good to go. And you won't get turned down for secured credit cards now. There's a whole new rule that as long as you have the money, they'll give them to you. Another one is My Jewelers Club. A lot of people don't know this, but you can actually pay $200 to $300. You buy from this jewelry club and they give you a $5,000 line of credit on their actual company. Now, once you do this, you have a $5,000 line of credit. Another one is Newport Direct is another company that actually has the exact same thing. You pay $200 to $300 and you get a $5,000 virtual credit line that you can use on their website, and it pops up and reports to all 3 bureaus. Now you have all 3 of these things hitting at once. If you don't jump at least 100 to 150 points, I will truly be shocked. But that's something that we kind of sneak people in and we tell people to do, because we'll have people that will come in and they're like, oh, I don't have that much credit, and my score is a 550 and I don't know what to do. And they add 1 credit card, all of a sudden they boost up to 650, and now we can get them whatever they pretty much want. So, get into that mental mindset of investing in your credit. Now, I have a friend of mine, his name is Will Roundtree. He's a credit specialist. I'll link his information down below. He will help you clear off all your stuff. But, that's great. You could always want to rebuild your credit. But as you start cleaning your credit up, you need to make sure that you start putting the effort into getting new credit. A lot of people they don't do this. Like, okay, tax season's in March. This is our busiest season. I challenge you guys to go out and get a secured credit card, go to My Jewelers Club, get that set up, get a few of these things set up, so this way by the time your tax season hits and you get your down payment or your tax return and you want to be a tax time baller, hopefully your credit will be on par with your down payment. You can get something really nice and you can start to see that momentum moving, because I know once you see your credit score jump up, you'll be very excited and you'll be very happy as far as what the possibilities in the future of what you can get. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching to the end. Please smash the like button if you learned anything. Follow us on Instagram at automotive.life, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it so much. Make sure you smash the like button. I truly appreciate it. If you have any questions whatsoever, put them in the comment section below. I personally answer every single question. None of my staff, just myself. Also, make sure to follow us on Instagram at automotive.life, and we'll see you next time.